You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Marcus Aurelius. In the quiet before the day begins, the Stoic wakes with a simple reminder. The world outside may be chaos, but peace is always a choice within. He doesn't rise with dread. He doesn't rush toward distraction. He begins with breath, with stillness. Because stillness is not inactivity. It is presence, it is power under control. Seneca once wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." And it's true. We build storms in our minds, fight battles that never happen, argue with shadows we created ourselves. So the Stoic trains for reality, not for illusion. He sharpens the only weapon he truly owns, his perception. The day may bring insults, but he will not be insulted. The day may bring delay, loss, betrayal, but he will not lose himself. Because what is truly his judgment, his values, his integrity, no one can take from him. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." And so in every moment, the Stoic asks, is this within my control? If yes, then act. If no, then release. This is not surrender, this is clarity. To know where your power ends is to stop wasting your life trying to move what cannot be moved. He does not chase peace, he creates it, moment by moment. He walks through the noise, not untouched, but unshaken. He feels pain, but he does not become pain. He faces anger, but he does not become anger. He practices what few remember, self-possession. Because he knows you can lose money, status, even health. But if you never lose yourself, you are never truly poor. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Obstacle is not the end, it is instruction. It is the sharpening stone for the soul. The Stoic does not seek to escape life. He seeks to engage with it, wisely, calmly, fully. He knows that fear grows in the dark corners of avoidance, so he looks at everything directly. Loss, grief, failure, and even death. As Seneca said, let us prepare our minds as if we'd come to the very end of life. Let us postpone nothing. To the Stoic, life is not guaranteed. Every breath could be the last. So there is no time for delay, for endless complaining, or for waiting on someday. He doesn't live recklessly, but he lives fully. Because he knows time is not something you spend, so it's something you use. The Stoic understands the value of now, not yesterday filled with regret, not tomorrow filled with illusion, but now, where all choices are born. Epictetus wrote, "How long are you going to wait before you demand the best for yourself?" This is not about achievement, it's about integrity, living as if your soul matters, living as if your time matters, living as if your values are real and not just written in a book, but carved into your daily actions. So he wakes not with dread, but with purpose. He doesn't ask, will today be easy? He asks, will I be strong enough to do what's right? Because that question leads to growth. And growth, true growth, is not comfortable. It strips you, it challenges what you believe. It forces you to see yourself clearly, without excuse, without illusion. And that is where transformation begins. Because the Stoic knows, nothing external will save you. No one is coming to fix you, no perfect moment will arrive. You are the one you've been waiting for. So take up that quiet strength. Not with pride, but with humility. Not with show, but with steady footsteps. Walk as one who knows peace is not the absence of pain, it is the presence of inner power. What does the world owe you? Nothing. And the Stoic accepts that. He does not move through life with entitlement. He moves with awareness and of what he can do, of what he must endure, and of what he must let go. Marcus Aurelius said, "The universe is change, our life is what our thoughts make it." So while others curse the wind, the Stoic adjusts his sails. He does not demand that the world be soft, he strengthens himself. He trains for the hard days, not so he can show off, but so he can stay upright when others collapse. There is no need for drama, no need for applause. He knows that virtue is its own reward. He acts with justice even when it costs him. He speaks with truth even when it isolates him. He chooses discipline even when it feels like a burden. Because he does not serve comfort and he serves wisdom. And wisdom is not born in ease. It is born in friction, in challenge, in the slow shaping of character over time. Seneca reminds us, difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body. So he welcomes discomfort, not because he enjoys pain, but because he sees what it builds. He chooses the cold shower, the early rising, the silent walk without music. Not to impress him, but to prepare. Because life will test him, loss will visit, temptation will whisper, and when it does, he will be ready. Not perfect, but prepared. He knows that control over others is temporary, but control over self, that is eternal. Epictetus wrote, "No man is free who is not master of himself." And freedom, true freedom, is not found in escaping duty, but in embracing it with strength. The Stoic does not seek to impress, he seeks to embody. His values are not worn like clothes, changed based on who's watching. They are forged deep within, unshaken by praise or blame. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." So the Stoic doesn't speak of virtuing, he lives it, quietly, daily, especially when no one is watching. He doesn't ask for recognition, he asks himself, was that the right thing? And if yes, he moves on. No medals, no noise. Seneca warned, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." The Stoic listens. He watches where his hours go, where his thoughts drift, what habits quietly shape his future. He knows, attention is currency, and he refuses to spend it on things he cannot control. The news may scream, the world may burn, but he focuses on his response. Not because he is numb, but because he is responsible. He chooses what he plants in his mind because every thought grows something. So he chooses thoughts of strength, of purpose, of quiet gratitude. Epictetus said, "It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows." So the Stoic keeps a humble mind. He doesn't pretend to be wise, he trains like a beginner, open, curious, grounded. Because arrogance closes doors, but humility opens every path. He studies himself not to judge but to understand. He catches his reactions not to suppress, but to transform. And when he fails, as all humans do, he forgives and tries again. Because progress is better than perfection, and returning to the path is always a victory. A Stoic understands the seasons, not just in nature but in life. There are times to speak and times to stay silent, times to act and times to wait. He does not rush to fill the silence, he listens, because in the quiet he hears his own mind clearly. Marcus Aurelius once asked himself, "Is it not better to use your strength to deal with pain than to avoid it altogether?" So the Stoic doesn't chase comfort, he leans into the necessary discomfort that refines the soul. When hardship comes, he does not say, "Why me?" He says, "Why not me?" He sees it as a test, a sharpening, a proving ground. He does not resent fate, he aligns with it. Because he knows, fighting reality only creates suffering. As Epictetus taught, "Seek not that the things which happen should happen as you wish, but wish the things which happen to be as they are, and you will have a tranquil flow of life." The Stoic does not demand the world bend to his will, he shapes his will to fit the world. And this isn't weakness, it's the highest strength, flexibility without losing form. He grieves but does not collapse. He struggles but does not abandon his principles. He gets tired but he keeps walking. Seneca said, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." So the Stoic welcomes the friction, not because it's pleasant, but because it's necessary. He knows the pain of discipline is far lighter than the weight of regret. And he chooses every day to be better, not bitter, to grow, not to blame. Because the Stoic is not chasing a perfect life, he is crafting a strong soul. And now, the sun begins to set, not just outside but within. After walking through the teachings of Epictetus, the reflections of Marcus Aurelius, and the wisdom of Seneca, what remains? A quiet voice, a stronger soul, and a reminder. You don't need the world to be calm, to find peace inside yourself. You don't need every path to be smooth, to walk it with steady feet. You don't need to win every battle to be undefeated in your spirit. Stoicism is not a shield from pain. It's a practice of courage through pain. It is not a denial of emotion, but the art of not being ruled by it. You've walked far in this journey, through doubt, through strength, through silence, and now you carry something the world cannot take from you. Awareness, discipline, and the unshakable knowledge that your peace is always within your reach. As Marcus Aurelius said, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." Thank you for listening, for being present, for choosing the quiet path in a noisy world. If this journey brought clarity to your heart, if it reminded you of your strength, consider supporting this path of reflection. Subscribe this channel for more calm thoughts, more timeless philosophy, and more strength in silence. Leave a like if it resonated, share with someone walking their own path, and remember, the way forward is not always loud. Sometimes it's found in stillness. Stay grounded, stay aware, stay true.